The past year was one of the most challenging and difficult years of mine and my family's lives. My brother was having these really intense manic episodes that left both me and my family really hurt and confused as to what was going on. Clarity was provided to the situation when my brother was diagnosed with type 1 bipolar disorder. He was soon cleared for medical marijuana, which through extensive research we found could be a huge potential help for him. There are 17 states in which medical marijuana is still illegal, causing for some individuals in those states to be missing out on the possible healing properties of the substance for them. Medical marijuana has been shown to improve both the mood and the cognitive functioning of those with the disorder, leading me to believe that it should be legal on a federal level in order to help create a level of peace and a level of comfort for those specifically affected by this disorder and for their family members. There is, in a sense, a need for medical marijuana in individuals with bipolar disorder. It's a really scary and unpredictable illness, which according to Krista Bannister from dualdiagnosis.org is a disorder caused by chemical imbalances in the brain that can lead to times of both extreme depression and times of extreme mania. In these times of extreme depression, the individual with the disorder can have suicidal thoughts or possibly take suicidal actions. And in the times of extreme mania, these individuals can have impulses that can lead to aggression and danger for both themselves and for others around them. So ultimately, the disorder untreated, can lead to high risk for both themselves and for others. Medical marijuana can be used to improve their mood, which is obviously it's huge. In a study done in the PLOS One journal by Segar et al., the effects of medical marijuana on mood were investigated. This was done through having individuals with the disorder rate their moods 3 times a day for 4 weeks after exposure to medical marijuana. And what was found was the subjects reported significantly lower levels of anger, of tension, confusion, depression, anxiety, and mania, which points at the idea that medical marijuana is largely beneficial for these people. Along with mood being improved, cognitive functioning can also be improved. In a study done by Braga et al. In the Journal of Psychiatric Research, through a series of tests, it was found that the working memory, measures of attention, and the processing speed of individuals with this disorder was majorly improved, pointing at higher levels of functioning for these people, which can be huge for them in the workplace or just on a day-to-day basis through relationships with others and just functioning. So with this being enhanced, it could do a lot for them. As evidence has pointed towards, people with bipolar disorder can largely benefit from medical marijuana. The issue is that it's not legal countrywide, which is why my proposition is to get it legal on a federal level. This way we know that the individuals with the disorder are having all possible treatments, like having access to all possible treatments. This way we know everything that can be done is being done. Are there other ways the disorder can be managed? Of course, I would never ever suggest just to use marijuana or medical marijuana as a form of treatment for the disorder. There's therapy, there's medication, there's so much more that you can and that you should do. However, if it can in some ways help these people, then I don't see why we should shy away from it, and we should help these people in every way that they can be helped. It is, however, important to note that the effects of medical marijuana do differ upon the individual. In a study published in the Journal of Affective Disorders by Gibbs et al., in some cases, marijuana can trigger or maybe even worsen manic episodes for some individuals with the disorder. However, it is dependent on the individual. So there are risks involved, and it's a trial and error thing, but that's how it is for essentially all illnesses and all disorders. You find what works best for you, and what I want to do is let these people have access to finding what works best for them in the best way possible. And looking at a world where everyone has access to medical marijuana, you see this degree of peace and of comfort for both the individuals and for their families. So it was so big for me and my family. We had this level of hope that we could hold on to, and it's just a really powerful force, and it was monumental for us in our lives to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. In a world without it, you're seeing people experiencing symptoms that could be potentially alleviated through medical marijuana. And thinking about these people not having access to all forms of treatment, it's hard for me to think about, and it makes me upset, which is why I think that we should sign a petition. There's a petition that you can sign on sign.moveon.org/petition/legalize medical marijuana. Here you can sign and get our voices really heard in order to help people in the states without access to medical marijuana. This can make a considerably large difference in hundreds to thousands of people's lives. So please don't hesitate to sign. Tell your friends, get the word spread. Medical marijuana can be a revolutionary way to address certain diagnoses, as it has already given both me and my family so much hope as a form of stabilization for my brother. It's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that there are some people out there who can't access this form of treatment in certain states where it could be so potentially helpful for them in controlling both their mood levels and their cognitive functioning. And controlling mood levels for people with bipolar disorder is huge, as I have mentioned so many times before, in that it can bring a huge level of comfort to both themselves and their friends and family. It might even save a life someday.